Welcome to Letterbox Book Club. My name is Claire.
And I'm Mackenzie.
We're not going to trick them today, Kenzie.
Oh no.
I could sense the disappointment.
I was throwing up. I was like, do I say I'm Eric?
Oh, it could be a new thing we could introduce just for a bit of fun.
We could be like, this is who I like connected to in the book the most.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe next time. Maybe when this series is over, but like next time. Next book. Yeah. Alright, cool. Maybe. Alright, yeah.
Today we are.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know. I'm off my groove. Yeah, and today we are discussing Destined, which is the ninth, I think. Ninth book.
Yes, we are so close. I can taste it.
Yeah, I know. I can taste the freedom. By PC Casting Christian Cast, as we are aware. The authors have not changed throughout the entire series, so sorry if you keep forgetting to. They should have. bit of conflict. Throw them under the bus. And when Kenzie's finished eating her mango, she can read us the blurb. How is the mango?
It is delicious. It's a good mango. Everyone listening, it is a Calypso mango. I used to be a Kensington Pride kind of gal, but then my eyes were open to Calypso, and at Aldi you can get a 4-pack for $12.
Calypso sponsor us.
Yeah, Calypso mango sponsor me, please.
Alright, whenever you're ready, Kenzie, read the blurb.
Okay.
Blurb.
The burb.
I can't talk. I don't know what's going on.
We're off schedule. We're doing this on a random night, so in a random time. I get it.
Good vibes, though.
Forcing...
Sorry.
Okay. I knew forcing a confrontation with Neferet here and now wasn't smart, but I couldn't stop myself. Zoey finds herself weakened, this time by the brutal death of her mother. While Neferet gathers the forces of darkness, Zoey must battle grief to rally her own troops, not least Stevie Rae and her newly human consort Rephaim, who has finally turned his back on his cruel and mortal father Kalona. Working to create chaos at the House of Night, Neferet has joined with the White Bull of pure evil to create a vessel of darkness, a beautiful boy named Oryx. Yet this strange, dark creature is somehow drawn to be near Zoey and even to protect her. Ellipses.
I wonder why.
Gee, I can't imagine why that would be happening.
Alrighty, thoughts, feelings, emotions. Kenzie, let's go. Oh no.
No, it's a book. I actually enjoyed this. I feel like this is where things are like starting to pick up again. You can tell that like the end is nigh.
I feel like that was like 4 books ago though.
I know, the end is nigh is always happening. I think it really helped that it was in 12 point of views. No, because it just really split up the monotony of this shit.
Oh my god. I love the honesty though. I love the honesty.
I also feel I wish that this had been a 5-book series and that they were just a bit bigger, because then there wouldn't be so many things. Because again, it is picking up, but I feel like now finally, because they did something at the end that we'll get into, like a lot of people now see Neferet for who she is, and it's like it should not have taken. Pardon me, it should not have taken this long.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I still enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, I'm actually interested to see what happens now beyond this point, instead of like, I don't have to read the next ones.
For sure. My thoughts, feelings, emotions. I just want to quickly reassure you, like, it was a good idea to read this series, but I'm happy for it to be done. I'm over it.
Look, going into this, I was still like, oh, I really liked this when I was younger. And because I hadn't read it all, like, I can't remember what happens, like, and I don't know what happens, and now I wish I could go back and punch myself in the face and say, do not suggest this series.
I feel like if we were to like go back in time and try this out again, I would definitely have done 3-book intervals and then a break, 3-book break, instead of 4, because 4 is a bit too long.
Yeah. I also wish we could have done like 3 and then done like a 2-week break.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
done other
I get
books.
that.
Yeah.
I get that.
But
it is what it is.
We are hustlers and we are grinders.
Exactly. We were doing pretty well with pumping out like extra stuff amongst our already busy schedules.
Yeah.
So love that for us. But yeah, thoughts, feelings, emotions. I'm enjoying Zoe's kind of main story taking a backseat for the moment, even though like it's like the whole point. I'm enjoying like Lenobia's point of view and her kind of little story, and now bouts of conflict. I'm still annoyed that like now Neferet is actually causing chaos by doing XYZ things, and she's actually making moves, but it sucks that it's taken 9 books for her to do so.
Yes.
And very interesting that we have like a Shawnee chapter as well, or point of views as well, but like if we've learnt anything from last book or the book before, if a new character, well, not a new character, but if there's a new point of view from like an old character, chances are they're gonna probably die. Are you trying to think if she dies or not?
She's not dead.
I know not dead, but like it's the pattern that I've noticed, Jack got a chapter, then he died, and I know Shawnee doesn't die in this chapter, but like in this book, but like possible, huh?
Do you want me to tell you?
Nah.
Okay. Because it takes a wild fucking turn.
It takes a wild turn. Okay.
I don't think you'll be like, what the fuck?
But yeah, I'm oddly quite intrigued by like Neferet's chapters because, you don't always get like the villain's point of view and like how she's feeling and what she's willing to do or what she's willing to sacrifice, who she's willing to sacrifice.
Everything, apparently.
Yeah, and just her connection with like her new, she calls him a consort, but like she's like the acolyte of darkness.
Yeah,
so.
but also like, isn't that fucked because it's Heath and he is a teenager?
Oh, I meant the bull, not Aurochs, but the bull. Yeah. But yeah, it is pretty weird how it seems like every sort of like male partner relation, kind of not like romantic relationship, but with that Neferet has, like with Kalona, it was very kind of like sexual romantic, even though we don't really see it. It is very heavily implied. Same thing with like the bull now. Like there's a real heavy sense of sensuality towards it. Like Lauren, and then like early on with Aurochs, there seemed to be that like he might be, or he was described as her new boy toy type of thing. So her relationships with all these like figures aren't going too well, and also feeds off sensuality and sexuality. But I'm very intrigued again. Like the new point of views or the different point of views is what's like keeping the series together and alive. Because again, like they're reacting to everything chronologically and as it happens. Yeah, I just want the story to be over. Yeah. And then Kalona does a fucking backflip. Yeah. But we'll talk about him later too. And I hate that Thanatos is the only one that like I suppose other than Lenobia. That believes them.
And Dragon, but I mean, what a bitter end.
Oh, I loved kind of like Dragon's conflict, but like he has a point.
Yeah.
Rephaim, no matter how many times Rephaim's forgiven for like killing Anastasia from Nyx, like Dragon is always gonna resent him and hate him, and like I loved that.
I want to talk about with Rephaim.
We'll get into it. We'll talk about probably characters as they go, and then we'll just free talk.
Some qualms.
Okay.
No, this is not a qualm. First of all, I'm just thinking like how fucking weird would it be, because like Rephaim is like hundreds of years old or whatever, and he's done some shit stuff. But how shit would it be to like have all this like life, I guess, and then be like, lol, sucker, you're going to high school.
Yeah, it's like the worst punishment you
are
can ever
now
get.
17 and you're going to high school.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
It's the worst punishment Nyx could ever give. I think it's more like it's just his drawing this into his human side, and like his human side, just isn't as like emotionally and intellectually developed in a way. Yeah. So like in that sense, no matter how old he is, he's still gonna, I guess, be the mindset of a teenager.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Do you want to hear my?
Because sorry, quickly, but in the grand scheme of like immortality or living for long periods of time, he may be like hundreds of years old, but he's probably still equivalent to a teenager. Or am I just trying to justify this?
I think you're trying to justify it because think of Twilight.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, I think it's more he just wants to connect with his human side, human experience, and that means going to high school and suffering in high school.
I mean, I peaked in high school, so.
I mean, yeah, this could be his time.
Yeah. I
think you're peaking at, like, a slow peak, I don't... You do you.
We can't go anywhere else. You're 26 and I'm 25. Our brains are developed, Claire. This is it. This is it for us.
This is it. Oh, no. Oh, well. All downhill from here.
All downhill. No, I think I'm not going to feel old until I'm 53.
Until my back and hips start really hurting.
No, my back's cooked already.
That's a you problem. Mine's fine.
Okay, let's go into some qualms that I have.
Yes.
I need to look up when this was. Actually, it'll just be in the book when it was published.
Perhaps. I'm going to guess 2011.
Yeah, because the last one came out in 2014. Let's see. 2011. Look at you.
Ooh, what a guess.
All right. I want to talk about some things. There's a... I don't even know how to be PC about this. There's a chapter right off the bat where a bus is sent to collect the depot tunnel fledglings to go back to the House of Night. Trigger warnings, because I'm not going to say the words, but
it's very ableist comment.
Very ableist comment. I guess in America they have they have special education buses for for people with learning disabilities and intellectual disabilities, and it is commonly referred to as the short bus, which is horrible, but anyway. And so throughout this chapter, it is referred to as the short bus several times, and the R word is thrown around a lot, and from the outset and throughout of this series.
Yeah, it's just they heavily emphasize, like they even joke to each other, like, "Oh, we're taking the short bus" and all that type of stuff.
Yeah, and
so,
like someone's
it's heavily emphasized.
Yeah, and someone's just like, "Haha, well, you are an R word or whatever." Yeah, and it's like, this was 2011, and I was reading a lot of books in 2011. I was reading a lot of YA around 2011, and I don't think any other book was outrightly this disgusting.
No, hell no.
Yeah, and it's like, I understand that.
How do they get away with it?
Yeah, I understand that our humour has changed and society has changed, but how many editors did it go through where it's like, this is fine?
I mean, even in the first book, like, the R words flashed about, like... Again, but the 2000, I feel like 2007 is a bit different.
2007 is different. Yeah,
but how does it get through? I don't know. Maybe they're self-published and just hope for the best.
Yeah.
But that whole first chapter, I hated reading it, or the first couple of chapters when they're talking about it, and like they constantly make jokes, the characters, with each other about it, and it's like, oh, just shut up.
Yes.
Get your bus and go.
Yeah, get on the bus and go. My second qualm is with the audiobook.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, as you all know, that I used to be a very non-audiobook person, and I've kind of been swayed because I can listen to books at work now.
Hey.
Yes, but this audiobook really fucked me up. First of all, they call Neferet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Neferet.
Yeah.
It's giving me like you know, like a ferret, like
rodent
exactly,
vibes.
Yeah.
I get that they're saying it phonetically, but I was like, I've never heard it. Neferet.
So I could never do audiobooks. I need a particular like tone of voice narrator, and I need them to pronounce the characters' names the way I pronounce them.
Yeah, well, some of them like that I've listened to are good. Like the graphic audios are really good. And then Vow of Thieves and Dance of Thieves were really good because they had different actors. Anyway.
Yeah.
So there's that, and then whoever's voiceovering is clearly
voice actor
is clearly a white female, and then also so for like Cremish's I don't think I know where this is going. Like chapters, and also for Shawnee, they put on a very distinct like accent and inflection in their words.
Oh no.
Yeah, and I was like, this is racist.
The book doesn't stem far, or the audiobook doesn't stem far from the original.
Yes, and like I'm not surprised because the authors are racists.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah.
And we're only doing the series just as like a reflection of like what was like read in high school. It's just just like a revisit. Like we don't, as we said, like we don't believe in any of like the terminology or like believe in what like the audiobook artist narrator does and how she changes her accent and inflicts with like black characters and stuff, but like it's just a saucy-ish young adult wrote vampire book is all it is.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's obviously not hitting. It's not hitting.
Yeah. So those are like external qualms, but now internal plot qualms. Suddenly we have, I think we touched on this in the last one, so suddenly we have magic. Like old magic. Yes. Proper magic.
And
of course Zoey can like wield magic.
And see it.
And stuff, because of course she'll be like the long lost magic wielder or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
And then also new character Shaylin has true sight and can see like people's auras or whatever, and like what they truly are and colours and like what they mean. Stop introducing things. Stop it.
Or at least have it introduced 5 books ago
Yeah,
and then have it become
foreshadowed.
important now. Yeah, maybe that's what they don't... Or when they're writing this book, they're probably something they didn't understand was the foreshadowing. But who knows, maybe this is a foreshadow in itself, because Zoey might have true sight at some point.
I don't care. Zoey has everything. I get it. She's the chosen one.
Also, funny how she hasn't had any new tattoos kind of happen, but I suppose she hasn't really made a
Well,
great
she's just come back from the dead.
battle. I mean, yeah, but I suppose, but nothing big has, or significant has happened in order for her to have achieved it and, like, ticked it off her little box of tattoos that she's earned.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh well, I suppose, yeah, I agree with that, Quam. Like, this whole true sight thing, it seems a pretty
It's a
OP
cop-out.
as well. But, like, it's good that she doesn't, like, because there's this whole poem as well within, like, the Shaylin true sight stuff. And it's a matter of if she's able to even understand it or interpret it properly. So, like, she's just seeing colours and she's telling people, oh, you're purple, oh, you're black, oh, you're
But when she was first
baby spew green.
marked, like, because she was talking to Eric, and and they were, like, discussing it, and then she's like, oh, well, like, you've got grey, which means you've just lost someone that you loved, or whatever.
Oh, so she does have some sort of, like...
she knew, she's listed off, like, fucking 4 or 5 colours that he had, and she's like, this is what this means, this is what this means. And also, they had such an opportunity to have, disability, like, awareness and representation, and, like, it would have been cool if she was blind but, like, could see people's auras. But they've just been like, oh, you're marked, now you can see, and it's like, there goes, like, any rep.
Yeah, I get that. It is annoying. Yeah, but, like, oh, I love that idea of, like, yeah, being blind but being able to see some sort of colour or aura around somebody. Like, that would have been so cool.
Yeah.
Would have been, like, very progressive as well.
Yeah.
But considering the first chapter is all about making jokes about the short bus, understandable why they did not go that route. But yeah, that's pretty much kicks off, also part of the book, is Eric and his first tracking journey. And he actually has a chapter. He has a point of view for once.
Oh my god.
This is the first time.
His chapter was fucking disgusting. Sorry. I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, at this point, if this is the book that's getting you riled up, I'm happy to quit. After this episode, I'm happy to quit.
But then what are we going to do for the rest of November?
We'll just push everything forward.
We should have done Halloween books.
I mean, if we stop now, there's time.
Maybe we should just... maybe I'll just read the last one and I'll tell you what happens. Okay. And then we can have a little episode of it. I can't do 3 more of these, Claire. I can't.
Oh. But, like, I've actually started Hidden, and, like, I really like the Nobius chapters, though.
Yeah, no, there's, like, it's getting good.
Actually, no, fuck, we'll just power through.
We'll power through.
We're just having a moment of weakness and doubt.
Yeah, maybe I'll go back and read From Blood and Ash again, just to, like, get hyped about fantasy.
To feel something again.
I need to feel something. Anyway,
sorry, we digress.
Yeah,
Eric's chapter.
Just let me get to it.
While you get to it, I just want to say quickly, like, it was pretty cool how, like, we got the point of view of a tracker, because, like, you know, the trackers has played a significant role in marking teenagers as fledglings.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, and we were able to, you know, understand, like, his anxiety, and he's scared about doing it because he feels like he doesn't know what he's doing, but it all seems to come relatively natural, and in a way he thinks he's fucked up, but I know you're probably going to go over that. But yeah, it was just very interesting to see how the tracking process is actually how it occurs with an actual tracker.
Yeah.
But yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to read a couple of, like, little thingamabobs, little excerpts. So, he'd been walking slowly back to the drama room, wishing hard that instead of entering a class, he was going to be making a grand entrance to a movie set in LA, New Zealand, Canada, hell, anywhere but Tulsa, Oklahoma. He'd also been wondering how he'd gone from the hottest fledgling on campus and the next Brad Pitt, according to the top vampire casting agent in LA, to a drama professor and a vampire tracker. Zoey, Eric mumbled to himself. My shit started to go downhill the day I met her. Then he felt crappy about saying that, even if there was no one around to hear him. He really was okay with Z. They were kind of even friends. What he wasn't okay with was all the crazy stuff that went on around her. She's a damn freak magnet, he thought to himself. No wonder they'd broken up. Eric was no freak.
Oof. Yeah, Eric, we don't stand. But if you know how you think about, like, Nyx being the overbearing, you know, goddess, and, like, she has a plan, and, like, this is, like, kind of Zoe's life plan, and, like, the people around her. I feel like this was going to happen to Eric regardless, you know. So, like, it's not, like, explicitly Zoe's fault, because this is all, you know, Nyx's path, the destiny, you know.
I just, like, Eric had so much potential as a character.
And like 2 episodes ago, they kind of became friends again.
Yeah.
Like they kind of made up and they're allies.
Yeah, and in the first book, like, yeah, the first couple of books, he was a love interest or whatever. And I just feel like he had so much potential to just be this, like, guiding light because he was older and he'd gone through the change and he knew things about, like, bloodlust and stuff and blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like, yeah, he could have been this, like, a really good... mentor, really good sounding board for her. Like, she could have been like, hey, like, this is happening, I don't know what to do, like, and he could have been like, hey, that's fine, I'll sort you out, and instead he's like, ew, you rejected me, you're a freak, I don't want to have anything to do with you.
Yeah, he's very selfish and very tunnel visioned in his future and what could have been for him and his sense of famousness.
Yeah, I just don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, neither, I don't know. Maybe they just had to make way for Stark being, like, the one... Because, you know, Zoe started out with, like, 800 boyfriends, and now we're simmering it down to, like, one or even 2 now with Heath/Aurochs. But, yeah, I think it was just the way to get Eric kind of out of the way.
Yes, but he could have gotten out of the way without being an asshole.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with that. Yeah, it is very frustrating, because, yeah, they kind of made up 2 books ago, where they're allies, and, you know, they see Neferet for who she is, and, like, he seems like an ally.
Yeah.
Now he's just, yeah... But remember, they're just his internal thoughts and stuff. So, like, but like, how he interacts with Zoe moving forward is very, like, two-faced in that sense. But, like, what's a boy to do?
Not be an asshole.
Very selfish, again, yeah.
Yeah, I like, it's just like, how do I say this?
You know it's real when you gotta say, how do I say this?
It's just men who can't handle rejection.
Oh,
and it's just like,
I
feel like it's guys who are like, oh, I'm stuck in the friend zone. It's like the friend zone doesn't exist. If I don't have feelings for you, I don't have feelings for you. I consider you a friend. The fact that you think that any female who is a friend with you wants to fuck you, like, that's a you problem.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, well, she broke up with me because of Stark or whatever. Like, she broke up with me because of this. It's like, no, she broke up with you because you're stupid.
Yeah, you're just an idiot, yeah. Because he's jealous and possessive and, yeah, not really helpful. Because, like, again, he's the one that explained to Zoe that, like, she could have a human consort and, like, a vampire lover and, like, now she has a warrior's oath and stuff. And, like, but he was just not okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine to not be okay with it, but to be in that manner where you're slut-shaming the next day after being broken up and, like, just being snarky, yeah, it's not good. Immaturity of boys,
And, like,
I
yeah,
guess.
who was the one telling her, yeah, you can have a consort and you can have a lover and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, you told her that. Why are you then now not okay with it?
This is where I kind of, yeah, miss the Heath and Stark kind of allyship between them. Because, like, they understand what their roles are separately for Zoe, but they could still kind of get along-ish and just keep peace. But, yeah, Eric could not do that.
Yeah.
This is an Eric hate zone. Although it was very interesting, his first tracker, you know, experience, despite, you know, his feelings and his thoughts about Zoe.
I just love that
it was very interesting.
Fucked it up so badly.
I feel like, but, like, how do you fuck it up? Because it seems like him just turning into a tracker just happened like that, unless something else is at play, which I don't know.
A divine intervention. Yeah, because I feel like it's like a thing that, like, yeah, you become it and then it's just inherently known in you, like, what to do. Like, he had that, like, going over, like, he's got to go to, like, number 1 Smith Street, half an hour, in and out, like, yeah.
So then he would know kind of what to say, but I don't understand with the whole, I don't know what I'm doing, if he seemingly, at the same time, kind of does know. But then why have his talent be an actor, or is it just to recite all that poem stuff?
Yeah.
Is that what his true calling is? That whole spiel, you know, before being marked. But yeah, imagine what a waste. Like, you off to be a talented actor, and then you're just stuck being a tracker, having to recite the same thing.
Stuck being a tractor.
Sorry, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't talk properly. Yeah. And then, a fun fact is that he does believe he stuffed up somehow, but he managed to turn this chick into, or Shaylin, into a red fledgling, which is new. Which is weird. Yeah. This is why I think either Eric becoming a tracker is something that is, like, an unnatural thing, like an unnatural force made him that way in order to, like, do this, or, as we were talking about 2 books ago, what the accent, Jesus, about good or light being the inherent standard for morality.
Yeah.
Now that Kalona, or even darkness now, has his step in this realm, perhaps it's like a 50-50 split. Are you going to be blue or are you going to be red?
Yes, very
And
true.
as Nyx keeps it keeps being reaffirmed throughout the whole book, like evil does not always equate to darkness, just as light doesn't always equate to good. So like Shailene may be red, and she might just end up like Stevie Rae, just like a red vampire with a good humanity. So, but well, interesting to see how that goes, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just like wondering if it means anything. Because she also, got like that really cool new gift straight away as well.
I suppose hopefully it gets resolved and we find out. Unless it's just going to be that thing that's introduced and just never spoken about again. If we stop now, we never have to know.
I need to know who is Endgame.
Right. Oh. I feel like it has to be Stark. You don't sound convinced.
I just think that this Aurochs is going to have something.
Just because it's Heath's body and like they're described as being soulmates, Zoey and Heath. So perhaps I reckon in this life, because Heath is an Aurochs and like it's not fully him, it's
like a fragment
soul
of his soul.
Yeah, so like it's not a full soul. So I feel like he will like negate this lifetime. Zoey can be with Stark, and then in their next full lifetime, they can then find each other again. But anyway, that's my theory.
Maybe in the other, like the afterlife, they find each other or something.
Oh wait, does he? Because he had the choice of staying in the afterlife, blah 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 blah. You know, wait for Zoey, they reincarnate, and everything's all hunky dory for the next lifetime. But now that he's used his soul to sacrifice himself to be this weakness for Aurochs, does that mean like if Aurochs dies, does he still go to the like otherworld again?
Because I thought Nyx said, "Oh, you can go into this Aurochs because that's your role to help Zoey, like your soul." But I think it was like he's.
I feel like this is the ultimate sacrifice. Like his soul is done from this point on. Oh, I don't know. We'll probably have to just read and find out, I guess. Yeah, because it's a vessel. It's a compromised vessel made from darkness. Like once darkness is fully destroyed, if it gets destroyed, Heath's soul I would assume would be gone and not be allowed to reincarnate.
No, because I don't. So I think that the idea was that he could leave he could stay in the other world and he could choose to move into the afterlife.
Yeah.
Or he could give his soul rebirth as Aurochs. So maybe if they get Aurochs to like Rephaim choose the path of light, then it's just Heath again.
Maybe, but I was just thinking, did he just decide against the rebirth in order to come back so quickly? Does that negate his soul from going through the cycle again?
I don't know.
Maybe we're just being too profound and asking too deep. It's not that deep. Maybe.
Fuck, maybe.
By what we've just discussed, we don't think the authors are very into the whole, the science of it, I guess. Perhaps it might be explained.
I am also, trying to find a summary of Redeemed.
Oh, okay. You're gonna spoil yourself live right now?
Yeah, but I can't fucking find anything, so...
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to read it like the rest of us.
I'm gonna have to read it.
You really don't want to.
Mummy, I don't want to.
Alright, how about moving on with the book? Important parts that happen.
Yes.
We'll just talk about this now, kind of. Back to Shawnee. She has a pretty kind of, I don't know, weird breakup with Erin over the most stupidest menial thing. It's
because oh my God, and she's like, "Oh, I get Rephaim because I have daddy issues too."
Yeah,
it's
all
right.
But the conflict is Erin doesn't care. Erin just ignores her trauma and goes shopping, which is a fair coping mechanism. But it was so stupid how Erin, I feel could not at least sympathize with Shawnee, missing her dad because of her backstory, being the rich kid, but the parents were kind of absent. A bit different to Aphrodite, where her parents literally verbally abuse her all the time and bully her. But yeah, Shawnee seems having absent parents, or an absent father at least. But it's cool that she's having some sort of, I guess, development in a way, that she's having her own moment, expressing her feelings and her missing her father and all that type of stuff, because again with the Rephaim, his missing Kalona, or Kalona is throughout this book missing him. But yeah, it's just a stupid fight and they break their twinship over it. It's come on. That's all I wanted to kind of get out of the way before I lose sight of whatever I'm doing.
Are going to... There's gonna be more stuff.
Gonna be more stuff. Ooh. Alright. Ooh, now that I've just had a quick thought, I reckon Aaron's gonna be the one to die.
Oh, interesting. Who do you think are endgame couples?
Zoey Stark, Stevie Rae, Rephaim, because they're Aphrodite.
They're linked forever.
The established. Like, what I've read so far, it gives me no inclination of anyone else being in a relationship. Unless I've just... Other than Lenobia and her little farmhand. Her farmhand human boy.
Mm. Okay, no, that's fair. I just wanted to see.
Neferet and her fucking bestiality bull. Their endgame until she dies. If she dies. I just want also the Kalona Aya thing to be resolved. Because now that we know... Well, I suppose we don't know, like, because reincarnation, or we do know reincarnation is a thing, so, like, obviously, well, it's more concrete now, with the whole Nyx offering Heath, Aurochs, and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, I just want them to be resolved so Kalona can fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Who are your endgame couples? Or I suppose you know more than me, so, like, you're going to be a bit more careful in what you say. Other than like, I don't even ship any other side characters with each other, because there hasn't been much of them to ship, you know?
I'm just going to say Zoey and Stark, but I'm also going to say that we also have had issues in other books where they it's this series, where they introduce characters just to pair them off.
Just solely the series.
Yeah. And then I'm also going to say that just because two people are single doesn't mean they have to get together and move to Florida together and go and live in another house of night and teach there together.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I think Eric and Shawnee have a bit of a flirt. I think this book as well, but like, I don't know, the way we just talked about Eric, he deserves to be alone and die alone. You know, don't give me that look. Oh no, Shaylin he had a flirt with. Sorry, not Shawnee.
But does Eric not flirt with everyone?
I mean, yeah. I mean, he is the hottest boy in the House of Night. Yeah. Self-proclaimed.
No issue, but just saying.
Yeah. Have like a polyamorous relationship. Have multiple lovers. But yeah, like, again, I don't ship side characters because we don't really see them interact with each other other than, you know, the main characters who are already in a relationship. Alright, moving on to the actual plot of the book, I guess. I love the ramble though. Yeah. Love it. Get all the feelings out there. This is like a therapy session. So, probably gonna move forward with any details, but yeah, the book starts off about, you know, the short bus and like Eric tracks Shaylin, but we have another surprise entering the House of Night. Thanatos, whatever, the High Council vampiric chick who has an affinity for like death and all that type of stuff. She is coming to teach a class because she low-key wants to keep an eye on whatever the fuck Neferet is up to. And because they're just down professors, because like everyone's dying.
Yeah. I was going to say
Dragon's still grieving.
Oh yes.
And Lenobia just has a human stable hand because Neferet wants to have chaos by incorporating humans into this world.
Thanatos is like the only one that is already like the only adult that is kind of seeing Neferet.
At least from the outs, like as a third party, yes, because Lenobia is just trying not to get her ass killed, and Dragon is, you know, just grieving. He's not thinking clearly. He doesn't really know what's going on.
Yeah, should I refer to Neferet as Neferet from now on?
No, please don't. We've been calling her Neferet this entire time. Neferet. Ooh, no, we're too far gone at this point. Well, yeah, now that I remember, like, yeah, there was a whole meeting.
There was there was a Skype meeting.
A Skype meeting, yeah.
Also, another little qualm that I have. We all know how I fucking feel about modern technology in books.
Yes.
And it's just like, Zoe's like, I'm actually like really bad with technology. Like, I can send a tweet, sure, but like, how do I connect my iPhone to a new laptop? And it's like,
wow.
It's like, Kristin cast, no, PC cast, you're coming through so hard right now. Like,
yeah.
It's like, stop, it's so cringy. I can't. Yeah. And then it's like, oh yeah, like we have to have a Skype meeting. And it's like, I wonder if like Twitter, Skype, like if they had some sort of like sponsorship or whatever with...
I feel like no.
Yeah, but because like,
really.
yeah, why wouldn't... Because I feel like in a lot of other books, it'll just be like, oh, like I had a video call. Like I had a video chat.
Yeah.
Like it's never like even, Yeah, in like, It Starts With Us, when Lily and Atlas are video chatting, it never says like, oh, he FaceTimes me. It says they video call.
Yeah, but they did mention TikTok though. So, like, you're trying to hide it, but then you also name drop. Yeah, I get it. Maybe back then, like, the whole product placement is just because it's what's available at the time, and it seems to make sense. Like, it's not necessarily, like a paid advertisement. I don't think they got paid to say Skype and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But if this book was, like, released now, like, being very PC'd and, like, edited and all that, like, at least I don't think they'd still... They wouldn't say Skype or TikTok or Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
Without any sort of, or they'd have to be like, we've mentioned this, we're not sponsored, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of discourse in the Tik Tok about creators not disclosing that they're advertising stuff, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have to write #ad.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, and then I seen, think you're about to say the same thing, but I know I've seen on, like, Instagram posts where, like...
Even Instagram, yeah.
Yeah, they'll have either in a video or, like, on a post or whatever, and they'll have, like, say, like, it's a coloured background or whatever, and so they make the text colour the same colour as the background, and that's where it says like #ad, so you can't see it.
Yeah.
But it's still like, if you look at the analytics or whatever, like you can say, well, it's still in there, like #ad.
Like, why are you trying to be sneaky about it?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think we've also had this conversation. Like, if someone's paying me to advertise something and like I like it, then I would be like, hey, fucking use this. Like, I'm getting paid to tell you guys to use it, so
yeah, and it's something that you agree with and align with.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just, for some people, it's just something they kind of don't agree with, but because they're getting paid the big bucks to say it, they gotta, like, pretend and kind of upkeep
maybe
what they want to say and to try and sell it, etc. But,
Yeah.
Back to this book for a sec. Yeah, I don't think saying Twitter and Skype is relevant to...
Yeah.
It's just, it draws into the real world of what's happening at the time.
Yeah.
Zoey did say Skype, like, several times, and it was really annoying.
Yes, I was like, please stop.
But yeah, so there's this whole meeting, like, housekeeping meeting for Neferet in order to organise the House of Night. And it was with the Vampiric High Council. And Zoey is also there to ask permission to start her own House of Night in the depot. So they don't have to traverse through school and all that, or to the House of Night and stuff. And then Neferet's all like, but I'm still your High Priestess. And everyone's like, no. And Stevie Rae's like, I'll be the High Priestess. And it's like, fine, all good.
I know, and I just, again... Stop introducing things. I thought that, I guess that, like, Stevie does have, like, affinities and powers and stuff, but, like, I feel like willy-nilly everyone's just like, okay, well, I'll go be a high priestess, and it's like, isn't there some sort of, like, criteria? Or, like, I feel like you have to be, like, specially chosen by, like, Nyx or whatever, like...
Yeah, I suppose Zoey having all 5 affinities, is the one, is the stepping stone to being a high priestess.
Yeah.
Or at least having an affinity, or at least a relatively powerful one. But also, undergoes years of training and servitude and all that type of stuff. But I guess in Stevie Rae's context, being like the first red fledgling with an affinity, like that gives her a bit more speciality equivalent to Zoey.
Yeah.
For the red fledglings at least, so probably why. And plus the red fledglings would probably feel, or at least the good red fledglings feel a lot more comfortable around Stevie Rae's leadership.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just that, like, the bantering between... make sure I'm still the high priestess or whatever, it was just annoying. But then Zoey also explains how the Sky Island in Scotland or in Europe or whatever, they're planning on opening themselves up, and the Vampiric High Council should also take steps in order to create a space for humans and vampires to work a bit more closely together. And this is where Neferet gets the idea of, like, having humans at the House of Night. Therefore, Lenobia has her stable boy, and, like, there's also a mention of this other chick. Is it Gaia vampire? She's with all the grass and the flowers, and she gets pissed off because they're trying to mow in the middle of the day, and it's just a stupid little scene.
I do not remember this.
I don't know. I remember it so vividly because it's just so stupid. But yeah, humans are being integrated, or at least human volunteers are being integrated into the House of Night.
Which seems like a dumb idea, but...
Yeah, but, like, yeah, Neferet wants to cause chaos, and chaos she will have. But yeah, I suppose the main point of this book is, of course, Aphrodite and Chromisha have their visual visions and the poem... I was going to say poem visions, but I know that's not right.
Prophecies?
Prophecy, that's it, yeah. So the main point of this book is because Zoe's mother is dead.
Yes.
And Zoey had a dream. Nyx showed her mother being introduced into the other world, etc. And so while Thanatos is here, because she deals with death, she's like, because she sees Zoey very like anxious and upset and angry about, you know, what's happened to her mother, and she believes she was murdered. And so Thanatos is like, we'll have a special like death reveal ritual. We'll go to Grandma's lavender farm and we will cast a circle and we'll see what's going on. So that's the main I guess climax of
which doesn't happen until the last chapter.
yes.
Yeah, but of course the solution to everything is to cast a circle, which I'm so like, I'm over it.
It's repetitive
because
it's very repetitive.
In every single book now there's been, big issue, let's cast a circle. And it's like, I liked in the first book when the stakes were really high, like Heath had come, like, and the bad entities were like taking over like Aphrodite and everything, and Zoe's like, fuck, what do I do? And they're like, cast a circle, like, and then it's like, yes, like she's coming to her power and she's figuring things out. And I don't think it should be, every issue should be so easily resolved, like, because it makes it easy.
Yeah,
like every single conflict
it just relies
like,
on the magic.
Every single conflict is like, oh, okay, we cast a circle. Like, I feel like there should be like other avenues, or like they should, you know, get a little bit injured or whatever, or like they have to fight harder, and then, or even like not every book, like book or whatever, like guys, like we're gonna have to do a circle. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I think even with the one Kalona was rising, it was more of supposed to be just like a cleansing type of ritual, and then Neferet just summons Kalona. But I think that this death one was interesting because it's different in the sense where like they actually got to like witness the chain of events that led to that moment, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the point of that circle was for it to be sabotaged, and the sabotaging was the actual problem. But casting the circle, it's just so repetitive, and it's like, air, come to me, fire, come to me, thank you elements, you may piss off now, like, and just character reactions, like, oh, you know, when it's Damien's turn, he'll like, I don't know, have a giggle or say something profound with his element, and then the same with the rest of them, and very repetitive. But that's the point of the book, is to get to Grandma's farm and kind of reveal what went down. So Neferet catches wind,
because of course she does,
through aurochs, because they're all in like all.
Should we? Sorry, I just want to quickly touch on. There's a moment where, I don't fucking know, Zoe's upset or something. Aurochs offers her a Kleenex, which is something that Heath always used to do. So I think she's kind of like, oh, this is weird, and like she can kind of like recognize, familiar. Like she's like, oh, like he seems really familiar or whatever. And also, Shaylin and Eric like come upon them or whatever, and Shaylin sees Neferet and says that she, like, her colour is like the colour of dead fish's eyes.
Yeah.
And like, I don't really think that true sight is used that often, like apart from like these first few times.
The auras and stuff is the affinity. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true sight. I don't think they are very aware of what like the actual true sight entails.
Yeah.
So like, it's still, perhaps it's closely linked with the affinity of seeing auras and colours and stuff, but maybe it's just not quite unlocked, because that would be very, I don't know, very kind of OP early on.
Yeah.
But the aurochs thing, because I think Heath said to Stark before he moved on, remember to keep a Kleenex because Zoey gets very snotty when she cries.
Yeah.
And I think obviously Heath has kept that deep in his soul.
Yeah.
And now is presenting that through aurochs.
Yeah.
Although, I must say, it's very clever, because Neferet declared aurochs being a gift from Nyx.
Mm-hmm.
And so, therefore, Neferet is forgiven and absolved for her insanity of proclaiming to be Nyx reincarnated.
Yeah.
But it's a very smart move, though, because, you know, she's trying to figure out how to, you know, bring him in without being too obvious that he's a weapon of sorts. But it is very weird how, like, they've noticed as well that Aurochs is only in one class, and that is the Natos' class.
Yes.
And that's at her request.
Yes.
And then he's just patrolling the grounds all the time,
because he's not really a student.
And he's having a poor little existential crisis. He's been there for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The man does not know what he's doing, because he's like, because Thanatos is trying to like, she has a very unique way of teaching, and everyone writes a question down, and I think this is where she gets the death ritual from, because Zoey I don't know, wants something, how to get over like a dead parent or something. And that's what prompts this. And then Aurochs is like, what am I?
Yeah, Aurochs is like, send help, please.
And he's feeling all these emotions, and he saves Zoey because Neferet tries to incapacitate her by tree branch or limb falling, and then Aurochs like accidentally saves her.
Yeah, because also I think that that part of Heath's because Nick's put Heath's soul in Aurochs to be like, this is how you're going to save Zoey. Like,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we all know that. Like, yeah, ultimately, Heath is his soul is, or embodiment is leaking through Aurochs. So, yeah, it's always going to be a problem, and thus that's why the sacrifice of Linda isn't so great and caused this weakness.
Yes.
Stark is having some weird dreams. There was a moment where he's like talking to like someone he refers to as the other. I was kind of skimming his dreams. To be fair, we are seeing Stark's dreams from Kalona's point of view because he is still trying to integrate using his immortality soul connection in order to try and I don't know, because he seems to only use it when Stark and Zoey have sex, which is gross. But he's in the moments where they're not doing that. Yeah, Stark is having weird dreams about like this other persona or person in his mind or whatever that's called the other, and I don't seem to know who it is, or because it's a very like brutal side, like he's like, hey fucker, all that type of stuff, that type of dialogue. So I don't know, Stark's having a weird time.
Is it not just like the call of Kalona that like he's hearing and he's trying to be like, shut the fuck up?
No, Kalona is witnessing Stark interact with this other personality of Stark, so like I don't know if it's like a weird warrior thing, or if it's just like perhaps he's filled with a bit of like hatred and like he's trying to convince him to turn or something. I don't know. Yeah. But Kalona witnesses it, and he, I don't know, does something and severs that connection. Yeah. While Rephaim is having daddy issues, Kalona is having missing my son issues.
Yes, he's like, oh, my favorite son.
Yeah. We're introduced to like one of the other brothers, Nizrock,
and oh my god, his voice in the audiobook is so fucking stupid. Yes, Father. So what do you want me to do?
God damn. Oh, that's so weird.
That woman that girl did this to you.
Just the way the speech is written in the book annoys me, but like it is what it is because they are half bird, half human, whatever.
It sounds like this, and it's silly.
Like Igor.
Yeah.
Like a weird Igor moment. Yeah.
Rephaim.
Kenzie, you should be a voice actor.
You are a boy. Why are you not a bird?
I love it. Love it. But yeah, Nizrock becomes the favourite son for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, because Kalona's like, well, no one else can do my bit. No one else is human enough.
Yeah, exactly. Or beast enough to do it. So there is a moment where they intercept Rephaim at school, and Nizrock is trying to get him to spy on the House of Night for Kalona, which he refuses to do, which is fair enough, because he just wants to be a good boy, remain human, and live the human school experience.
Yeah. He's like, Daddy, this isn't a phase. It's my life
Daddy,
now.
Stop it. He wants to do good by Stevie Rae.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where he does something and Zoey is with him, or someone's with him just to vouch for him, because he is that scared of like coming across as a double crosser, or a betrayer. Yeah. And obviously this leads to a confrontation with like Dragon and the son of Erebus warriors, because they think he's gonna attack the school, etc.
Yeah, because Dragon like thinks that he's plotting,
and so there's this whole big stupid miscommunication confrontation thing, and I think Kalona comes by as well. I'm not sure, I don't remember. No, that's at the end, never mind. But yeah, so I just hate all these misunderstandings. That's like chapters of characters being like, no, he is this, we stand by him, and then the other character, say like Dragon, is like, no, he killed my wife.
Yeah. And it's like, wouldn't you just, if you were Dragon, like take a sabbatical? Like,
yeah, exactly,
go on personal leave.
Yeah. I mean, on TikTok and stuff, the amount of like discourse I get about like paid time off and how much it is like frowned upon. Like, I don't think the guy could get away. Yeah. I don't think he could get away. So yeah, that's Kalona's kind of struggle. He misses his son, and then I think he has an interaction with Shawnee, which is weird. She gives him a phone to try and, like, so he can contact Rephaim at any time. Because
yeah.
Kalona is supposedly in hiding and banished for a century.
Yeah.
Shawnee's daddy issues mixed with Kalona's I miss my son issues, you know, two worlds collide. So, but it gives you another kind of angle on Kalona, like, maybe he really does love his son, you know, he has, like, the human in him that the immortal has seemed to have overtaken, like, there is something there for him to hold on to.
Yeah, and I think also because, like, he gave up part of his immortality essence.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that has made
sure.
him, like, more human as well.
And maybe the fact that Nyx has shown up and, like, I think he asked, like, could you ever forgive me? And she's like, blah, 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 in time, maybe. Like, he has to do something to earn it.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, maybe he's just mixing with the fact that he's kind of seen his ex-lover and he's just like, oh, maybe I am the problem.
Yeah, oof. But, like, I mean, I don't think he is.
No, I don't know.
I mean, he's a
But
problem
then,
in
like-
that he's done some awful batshit crazy shit, but I don't think, in this scenario, he is truly the problem.
But at this point as well, the tables have turned on him because Neferet is the one that's kind of entrapped him in this situation, and she's manipulating him, she's abusing him, whereas, you know, in the law, Cherokee laws and legends, he was the predator amongst women, but now he's the one that's being chained up and kind of put on a leash. So obviously he doesn't like that. So, but yeah, just hate the total flip around. Oh no, maybe it's not really a total flip around because, yeah, he's just trying to work against Neferet now. I don't know. And they all do come with a truce, the group and Kalona. They have, like, a little allyship because their now common enemy is Neferet. What else to talk about just before we talk about the big battle? Lenobia and Travis, they're cute, right?
Sure.
Cute moments. Again, we keep bringing up reincarnation, and from what I've read so far in Hidden, like, it's obviously true. But no, I don't know, it's nice to get Lenobia's kind of point of view and learn a little bit about her and her history as well, because since the battle at the House of Night against Kalona and stuff, like, her and Dragon, of course, have held the significant positions of the school, and they're also the guiding light teachers, so it's nice for them to be highlighted a little more.
But again, yeah, because I think, yeah, so before this it was Dragon's novella, and then after this is Lenobia's novella. So I think it only makes them significant because they have their own, like, books surrounding this in the timeline wise.
Yeah. Does that mean she's gonna die after her novella, the next book?
I cannot remember.
Okay. Oh, okay. Aphrodite has, like, a very traumatic vision about death, or no, Dragon killing
Rephaim.
And again, very traumatic. Her visions seem to be getting more intense as it goes on. Like, her eyes are described as bleeding and all that type of stuff pretty profusely. And just the banter of, you gotta have water before you wine and all that stuff. It's like, I don't care. So do you want to just go straight to, like, the ending, I guess?
Yes.
I don't think there's really much else to really talk about right now that I can remember.
Yeah, I think, and I will continue to say this, and we have said before, that these books are a lot of nothing. Things happen to individuals, but they aren't necessarily forwarding the plot. It's always, and then everything happens within the last 2 chapters.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Thanatos is like, because Zoe's still like, oh, like, I don't understand, like, my mum's dead, like, blah, 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 Neferet had something to do with it, and Thanatos is like, oh, hey, well, there's this thing that you've never heard of before, but I can do, because I have an affinity for death, and it's called a, like, truth ceremony, or, like, a reveal ceremony.
It's a, reveal ritual.
Yeah, reveal ritual, and we can, like, get little, like, astral projections of, like, what happened. Do you wanna cast a circle and do this?
I suppose, like, it was just this whole symbolism of earth is a pretty significant element because, you know, the blood is soaked up within the earth, that type of thing, and yeah, all that type of stuff. So that's why Stevie Rae was pretty important in that part as well. But yeah, it was just that symbolism, and, like, Grandma being there because, you know, being the mother of Linda and stuff as well.
Yeah, and it was also at her place where, because you had to go back to the place where Linda died.
Yeah, and they had to do it on the 5th night since she died because of the 5 elements, blah, blah, blah. That was pretty cool, though. Like, the numerology and the symbolism, but you're over it.
Yeah, but, like, you know, it just screams, you know, how we're always like, oh my god, there's, like, 3 sisters with 3 mountains and 3, like, it's reaching.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so they go there, they do that.
They do
while
that
this is
thing.
happening, they did that thing. Neferet again catches wind of it through Aurochs, and she commands Aurochs to sabotage it. And she does it by like commanding darkness to take over Aurochs to then, sabotage. And there's a sacrifice she makes for that. It is not confirmed in the book what she sacrifices it, but towards the end she is luring a cat.
Yes.
To pay for the sacrifice. But anyway.
We digress.
We digress. But yeah, so and then because of the vision of Dragon killing Rephaim, there's this whole Thanatos has this whole moment where she talks to Dragon and she's like, you can't come to this thing, and then Dragon's like, I am the sword master, I must be there to protect the students, which I think is silly because like, yeah, because they told Thanatos about it, of course, because they obviously don't want Rephaim to die or to be killed by Dragon, which I feel like Dragon has every right to kill him, let's be fair.
I know, let's be honest.
But it's just so funny because they told Thanatos to tell Dragon, and then that's how Dragon ends up there. Like, if they didn't tell Thanatos, then, like, the sequence of events would change.
Yeah, like it would have been a butterfly effect.
Yeah, throughout the whole series, the whole point of the visions is to deviate from it, but this time they've accidentally made him there. But obviously it's his own choice what defined him in that moment, and we will talk about that. Dragon's all like, alright, I won't be there. Liar. He has a moment where he's like, I'm gonna go there and just protect the students, blah blah blah.
Because he's the school's, like, here's another thing that we've never heard of before. He's the sword master.
I feel like he has been the sword master throughout the entirety. It feels familiar, that title for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was just like, what?
Alright, the main pivotal aspect of this book is the ritual. So they cast the circle.
Reveal ritual.
Yeah, they cast the circle. Dragon is there watching, sneaking. Aurochs is there watching, sneaking. Watching, waiting.
Rephaim is there watching and waiting. Stark is there watching and waiting. Darius is there watching and waiting.
Watching and waiting. Yeah, shut up. And as the casting begins, it's a pretty intense casting because of the nature of it, which is pretty cool. There was a bit of tension. And I think, like, once they cast it, Thanatos is like, alright, nothing can stop this now until someone dies, until death. Like, only death could stop the reenactment of this, which is weird and stupid because it feels like a trap.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah, and as a fully grown vampire adult, like, why would you, like, mislead these kids? Even though it was kind of for the greater good of Zoey getting her closure, but still, like, you'd have that risk conversation. But anyway, Aurochs, he's watching and he's, like, feeling a sense of conflict because he doesn't want to
because he doesn't want to hurt
Zoey.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, oh, cute. And simultaneously in this moment, Neferet is making that, because she senses that Aurochs isn't doing anything, or the threads of darkness are telling her that he's not doing anything. So this is when she makes the bargain, and so Aurochs is kind of shifting into his bull state. Oh no, the sacrifice for this was going to be Rephaim. But yeah, anyway, Aurochs is shifting into his bull state, and he goes to attack Rephaim. Stark and Darius are, like, stunned, held by darkness, so they're doing fuck all.
Yeah, and Stevie Rae is like, what the fuck?
Yeah, everyone in the circle is panicking, and Zoey and Thanatos are telling them to not deviate from the circle. Oh no, well, I suppose once the vision, or the astral projection of the story of, like, Neferet going to the door and killing Linda and all that is happening.
Yeah.
Like, no one could stop it. So, while Aurochs is destroying or trying to kill Rephaim, Dragon comes through and he starts slicing the bull.
Yeah, he's like, well, you know what? I'm going to attack.
He's coming to save the day. And then, but the bull is, like, gorging him and all that type of stuff. And, like, rest in peace, Dragon. He is confirmed dead.
Yes.
And his death ultimately releases the death ritual. Once they realize Neferet was the one that killed Linda and all that, like that, and with Dragon's death, it all stops. So they all go to Rephaim and treat him. He is pretty gravely injured. But yeah, Dragon confirmed dead. I think there was a moment where Stevie Rae calls Kalona and she's like, says something about Rephaim being hurt. And so Kalona comes and joins the fray. And then, he sees his son badly injured. He, like, hovers over him and, like, cradles him and
he, like, is begging Nyx, yes, like, don't let him, like, be punished for my
crimes, I guess,
crimes, my misdeeds. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she does that. She grants.
She's like, all right.
She just saves him. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the whole trope, like the single tear of healing.
Yeah.
Drops on the
Yeah.
forehead, and just the magic ripple, and he is alive. He is all right. And then I think Aurochs, does he like run away? I forget what happens to Aurochs. Like he turns back into his boy form.
Yeah. So and then Zoey looks at him through because her seer stone is like warm or whatever, and so she looks at him like through it, and she sees Heath, and so she's like, Heath, and everyone's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What are you smoking?
Yeah. Everyone's like, I'm sorry, what?
So yeah, then they all have that. It's always the back and forth, but like it's Heath, and everyone's like, no, it's not. They just tried to kill Rephaim.
Yeah,
but it's Heath. You know, but yes, I guess that whole conflict gets sorted, and then Kalona and Thanatos. Well, Thanatos has a kind of chat with Kalona amongst everybody, and Kalona pledges warriorship to Thanatos, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
And what we know about warrior oaths, it's a pretty serious thing.
Mm-hmm. So
because he wants Neferet.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much like he's choosing light.
Yeah, again, when the whole point of Nyx's ethos is, yeah, like evil does not always equate to darkness, nor does light always equate to good, blah blah blah. So I thought that was pretty cool though, but like again, like we're really shoving away the whole Kalona reuniting with Aya thing. Like that's really gone out the window.
Yes, like yeah. So he's this made up Cherokee legend.
Yeah.
And we're just see ya.
Yeah, bye, go on.
Yeah.
Thank you for the intrigue, and now we're not going to use you again.
Yeah.
So Kalona is switching sides. I think ultimately now his goal is to earn that forgiveness from Nyx, and he's going to do that through pledging his warrior oath to Thanatos, and Thanatos is going to make sure Neferet, I guess, pays for what she's done, or is at least destroyed.
Yeah, because they saw Neferet kill Linda. So
yeah, so everyone knows.
Thanatos is like,
you're gonna die.
Yeah, everyone is gonna die. And then of course, our favorite goddess shows up right at the very fucking end. And all she says is like, the fight will continue. Have fun, friends.
Yeah. Remember, this is all her destiny, the path that she's laid out for everybody.
Yeah, you guys gotta do this, and then we'll be sweet. Yeah. Just, I know you're all young, but it's okay.
And we're gonna traumatize you severely.
Yeah, but that's okay. And a few of your friends are gonna die, but it's okay. It's okay. It's character building.
It's about the friendship we make along the way for those that survive. I mean, like, with Dragon, like, I don't blame him for hating Rephaim for like all eternity. Yeah. Like, it just sucks. It sort of just discredits his grief. Yeah, he's being pressured. He's like, oh, Nyx forgave Rephaim, so you should too. But like, no, come on. Anastasia was his mate, and I feel like they've been together for fucking centuries. Yeah. So like, it's a big thing to like not get over so easily. Yeah. But it's nice that like we've seen kind of a moment of weakness. Oh, it's not weakness, but like a significant amount of grief from the teacher of someone losing a mate. Yeah. Because it's very significant. But yeah, anyway, that's the book. We've been droning on and on. This is going to be a weirdly long episode, but
I didn't think that we'd get this much for this book.
Dude, we were half an hour in before even talking about the plot.
That's fine.
I love this for us, though.
I just quickly want to talk about, sorry.
That's okay, keep going, I don't care.
They saw Dragon and Anastasia, like, reunited, but they were, like, the young versions of themselves, because I guess, like, I think in, lots of religions and stuff, it's always, like, when you go to heaven, like, you go as, like, the best version of yourself.
Yeah, and his name is, like, Brian.
Oh, yeah,
Brian.
Yeah, because they see, like, a young, name. Like, Anastasia. I don't think they realise that it's her at first. And then she's like, oh, Brian, and they're like, what the fuck?
Who the fuck is Brian?
Like, what?
Yeah, no, I get that. I love that. And then now they'll be reborn and they'll find each other again. Yeah. I love those kind of soulmate stories, like in books and media. Just like the soulmates, like you're always going to find each other no matter what. I think my internet just died for a moment. I can't really see you right now, but that's okay. Did you hear my question?
What question?
Alright, so, okay. So I'm going to ask you a relatively personal / relevant question, but completely up to you if you want to talk about it, because we're just talking about like soulmates and stuff before I blacked out. I was just gonna ask, do you like believe in like reincarnation? And again, if it seems like a too personal of an idea, you don't have to answer, but
bro, the amount of shit we talk about.
I know, but still, I don't know, for the people who probably think that like I'm because I know in It Starts With Us you tell a personal story, and when I was editing it, it came across as like I wasn't grateful or like super sympathetic to your story. So I want to make sure that like it's out there.
Claire
that
needs
like
a backpedal.
Exactly.
I don't know. So like, this is a really deep question. But,
I know.
So because I don't know if it's like reincarnation, but because I think that all time is happening at the same time.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that like I don't know if it's reincarnation, but I think like your soul can recognize people, because like I think friendship and like best friend, like things are so weird, and it's like, yeah, like you and I have been friends for over 10 years now.
Yeah.
But also like we've only been best friends for like, I don't know,
3 or 4
years. Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
weird when like, yeah, and I think you can be friends with someone for a long time and then like something will click maybe, or like, I don't know, it's weird. But then there's also people that like I used to be really close to that I'm not as close to anymore. So yeah, I don't know, I think that souls are weird. Like life is fucking weird.
Yeah, I know. I just think like I totally believe it to a degree. Otherwise, like, where do you go? You know?
Yeah.
Like, 'cause when you break down, like, the molecules and, like, matter and all that on a scientific level, at the end of the day, it's just, like, energy and matter.
Yeah.
So, like, you move toward what you're kind of, like, attracted, like, what the elements attract.
Yeah.
I feel. So, like, and I feel like, yeah, it could never really truly die, because, like, what just happens to energy? Maybe scientists probably, like, know all that shit, but like kind of profound spiritual level, like energy needs somewhere to go, and it will be drawn towards whatever it's I guess attracted to.
Yeah.
Which leads me to my next question, which is pretty funky. But like, do you believe in like the child reincarnation stories? Because I do.
Yeah.
You know when a child is like, I was this person, I remember this.
Yes, because I've seen so many things, and especially like I've seen when a mother like loses a really close person to them, like right before a baby is born, or like right before conceiving or whatever. And I've seen so many videos and stories, especially on TikTok, of like a kid, like several children, being like, oh, I remember when I was your dad or something. Yeah. Like I was
like the parents, like their mum's like dad.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, like, or like a kid will be like, oh, I remember looking after you, and now it's your turn to look after me. And things like that. And they'll be like, say like someone's dad died or whatever, and then they have a kid, and they'll be like, oh, John sent me to you, like he was just he like wanted me to say hi or whatever. Or like kids calling their parents like nicknames that like only like people that have died like called them or whatever. Like 100%. And then there's kids who like have been in like World War II and stuff. Like it's crazy.
Claims to be like Princess Diana or something.
Yeah.
Although that'd be a bit obscure, but like like I've heard of a story about like a World War II pilot, and like the kid can name like the plane, the unit, and all that type of stuff.
And I think that's the same one. And he had a friend, and the friend was still alive, and they found him, and he met him, and they like could tell stories of like their time together in the war.
Like, how does that not prove reincarnation in a sense?
Yeah.
Like, because there's no
And
way the kid just makes it up.
Yeah, and there's always that thing that I've heard, and like I think it's so true, because like old people and kids are closer to death or like life beginning.
Yep.
And so like I think kids, especially babies, have like they can see
like ghosts and
yeah
stuff.
they see ghosts
children,
and spirits. Children
are very adept to that.
I've just seen so many stories, and like read so many like online forums, like mum groups and stuff, and it's like kids have imaginations, but like kids can't make this shit up.
No, hell no.
Yeah, especially if like a kid has never been exposed to like,
say, World War II,
World War II, or like movies about ghosts, or like any sort of like ghost lore, and then they'll be like, oh, like there's this person in my room, and you're like, well, how do you know about that? Like,
believe children, dude.
Always believe
they
children.
say and do.
Their souls are innocent.
Yeah, exactly. And then until you grow up to become like a cynic and just ignore it.
Which is like, I have such a qualm with, this is gonna get even deeper, sorry. This is
okay.
so off topic, but it's like brought it up.
I love it though. We're done with the book at this point.
And like I think it's like Catholicism, or like Christianity, that's like the idea that you're born with original sin. So it's like as soon as you start your time on earth, like you have to like work for forgiveness. And it's like, that's shit. Like, no, babies' souls are innocent.
Yeah, like they have done nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I like this is like has no basis for truth, but like, you know, where people get have birthmarks and it's kind of relevant to like how you died in like a past life.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I have a client that has like a weird birthmark right in between like her eyes, and like we were talking about it once, and like I didn't say it, but she's like, oh, because we were talking about it. I don't know how he brought it up, but I'm like, oh yeah, you got a birthmark like right like on your forehead. And then she was like, yeah, it's because I got shot in the past life, you know, right in between the eyes.
I know, I have one on my knee, and I'm always just like, oh, everything changed when I took an arrow to the knee, like.
Yeah, I don't think I have any like
and there's like law, like babies can like be, I think they're like birthmarks, but they can be born with like little, they're called like stalk marks, and it's about how like it means that like a loved one sent them to you, because it's like a little kiss mark, like that's where they kiss them before they sent, But like I have had, I'm gonna tell a really funky story. Sorry,
it's okay
about this.
If you want to cut, we can cut this out if you want. But like, I'm intrigued.
It's all good. Whatever. Like
for whoever's hanging on to this episode, thank you.
I obviously like my dad's dead. Lol. But I have dreams about him. And they're very vivid, and you know that I have very vivid dreams. But just after James was born, I had a dream of my dad, and we were at like my old house, or at like my first house that I lived in with my dad, my mum and dad, and like James was there, and then he like ran up and was like hi Frank or whatever, and then my dad Frank was like, oh, I've been waiting to meet you, James.
That's so beautiful. Like, how does that not mean anything? You know? Like, people are gonna look at that and be like, well, that's
you were just thinking about your dad.
It's like, come on. You sure you went shifting?
I might have been.
I'm getting a lot of shifting on my TikTok
again. Mine's been off it for a bit, ever since like shift talk drama.
That's like, how do you explain that though? Like, that's just and I suppose that's what you take away from it as well.
Take what resonates, leave what doesn't.
Exactly. But no, that's so beautiful though. It could have happened at any time, like maybe not even having James, like you could have dreamed about a baby and him being like, nice to meet you, but it had to happen after James was born, like far out. Alright, I think it's time to call it a night, to be honest. If you made it this far, give us a thumbs up.
Leave a comment.
Tell us to shut up.
If you find
this book, we're
nicely. done. We're done with the series. If you find us in one place, you'll find us in all the places. We have Linktree. Link is in bio. The easiest place to find us is Instagram.
Yeah, that will lead you to all the
that
other
will
places.
Lead you to everything. Stay safe out there, folks, and we love you.
Keep an ear out for next week's episode.
I might be dead, but
3 books to go. So close yet so far.
Alrighty,
thanks for listening. Catch us up next week. Bye.
Bye.